On this episode of the Press Rewind Prince Lyrics podcast, I ignore Prince's pleas and stick around long enough to cover the Parade era vault track, Go. Go was recorded in September of 1985 in Nice, France, and was worked on further in October of 85 in France after members of the Revolution arrived to record the video to the Around the World in a Day single, America. If you remember that video, it's a performance video with Prince and the Revolution, and they're all playing on stage. It was like on a sound stage, and that is essentially where this version of Go was recorded. And if it wasn't this version, it's the version that Prince continued to work on in early of 1986 at Sunset Sound Studios. There was some additional overdubs that took place there. Prince Vault estimates this is when Wendy and Lisa added their vocals. So maybe some instrumental, then the band instrumental version occurred in France, and then maybe Wendy and Lisa added some more vocals, clearer vocals in studio back in the United States in January of 86. It was never included on any early configuration for the Parade album, so it's a bit unclear as to what exactly Prince had intended this song to be used for, or where. It's easy to lump all the songs that Prince was recording around this time that didn't end up on Parade or Sign of the Times into the intended for Dream Factory, and I'm using air quotes, because that's really the only other project that seems to come up when there's songs that don't have a home, that don't have an intention, aren't meant for a protege album or somebody on his label. So it must have been for Dream Factory, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe. The song itself appears to be Prince singing about a woman who's planning on leaving him for someone else. But he sings about how he doesn't want to drag out the inevitable. So this relationship is over. He doesn't want to drag it out any further. He doesn't really want to belabor the inevitable dissolution of this relationship. He's a bit bitter, and that becomes clear as the song goes on. He starts the song with a spoken word intro, and it's a one-sided conversation with his significant other, so we don't hear her side of it. We just hear his responses. She's leaving him and going home, and the rest of the song is about Prince's response to this action she's taking. Where are you going, baby? Home? Oh, woman, please. No. You ain't got to explain. If you're going to go, I don't want to know about it. And then he gets into the first verse. If you really want to go, I don't really want to know what I really mean to you. I'd rather you just walk out the door and go. So he'd rather live in blissful ignorance about her true feelings for him, good or bad, I think. So, I get the impression that maybe he thinks and believes that she doesn't love him anymore, and maybe has some less than kind words for him as a parting gift before she leaves. And he doesn't want to give her the satisfaction of maybe airing her grievances, or at least he just doesn't want to deal with it. Like, it's just too much for him. And that's essentially what this is like, if you're going to go, just go. I don't want to hear you talk. I don't want to hear your excuses. I don't want to hear what you have to say about me. I don't want to know what I really mean to you. And if I don't really want to know what I really mean to you, that comes off maybe as meaning like, I don't want to know that you still love me. But I don't know if that's what would be coming out of her mouth in this situation. Because again, as we find out later in the song, she's cheated on him. So I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have so many nice words to say, and he doesn't want to know what he really means to her, because maybe she's going to say, you mean nothing to me, and that would be too painful. I'd rather you just walk out the door and go. I don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to see the rain. I don't want to hear your vain excuses or reasons why. Not this time, baby. So again, he's still telling her to make it quiet and quick. So don't talk and just leave. Be gone. And it's less painful for him. So he's really, again, a bit bitter and definitely expressing his bitterness with the intent of her leaving him as quickly as and quietly as possible, to not again drag it out, to expedite the healing process potentially. He's definitely not going to try to convince her to stay. He makes he provides no indication that this is on his mind, that he's considering, pleading with her and doing the typical, oh baby, don't go. No, he's saying go, just leave. So it's the opposite of that pleading breakup song that we so often hear. He doesn't want to hear her reasons for leaving either. And I like the line, I don't want to see the rain, because I feel like that's probably a more poetic way of saying I don't want to see you cry. So rain, in this case, teardrops. I don't want to see the rain. I don't want to see you cry. I don't want to hear your excuses. And it would be more painful for him. I don't want to feel the pain. So he's wanting to make this as painless as possible. The chorus is just go, and that's repeated 6 times total, 3 times by Prince, and then 3 times repeated behind Prince by Wendy and Lisa. And then the next line's, leave me alone with this broken heart. We've blown the art of romance. Ain't it sad? I think the we've blown the art of romance is a key lyric in this song. He's saying, first of all, I like it because it's a bit poetic again, and I like it whenever Prince has a poetic line. When he says something in a more interesting way, we've blown the art of romance. Not, we blew it, or in this case, we. So he's must be putting some of the blame on himself for the end of the relationship. It's not, you've blown it. You messed up. We've blown the art of romance. We had it. We lost it. It's a we. It's a together thing. And that's pretty important, I think, to note in this song, because there are plenty of songs where Prince is very not afraid to point the finger at his partner as being the root cause or being the reason why their relationship didn't succeed. He very infrequently points the mirror at himself to, for self-reflection purposes. And yeah, not to say that he doesn't do it. There are definitely songs about, where he self-reflects on the way he manages relationships and how that sometimes can be overbearing or difficult for his partners to live with because of just how demanding he is or just how busy he is, whatever it may be. But in this case, he's saying, we've blown the art of romance. So that's why I kind of feel like it's a key line. The next verse, you promised me, baby, that you would never cheat. You did it anyway, and now you want to leave me. One thing, Mama, I just don't understand. Why you'd want to take your love and give it to another man. So she cheated. This is where we find out this is probably where the fracture occurred, I would assume. So now we know why he's bitter and ready to end it. He doesn't understand why she chose to move on to someone else while she was still with him. So he just doesn't understand it. Why you'd want to take your love and give it to another man. Wasn't I enough? Didn't I give you enough? And maybe the answer is no, you didn't. And this is probably where she would explain herself and say, you abandoned me, or you were never around, or maybe You were with other people and I sensed it. But he's not really interested in hearing the excuses, as he mentioned in the previous verse. He just wants her to go. So, her cheating is why he's at least citing in this verse one of the core reasons why he's okay with this breakup, or at least he's accepting of the breakup. I mean, he still mentions that there's going to be pain, that he has a broken heart, but I also think he realizes that the damage is done and there's not really much else that can be said to fix it, or even if he wants to fix it. You might as well go, leave me alone with this broken heart. We've blown the art of romance, ain't it sad? And that's the chorus again. Oh, if you really want to go, I don't really want to know. Listen, if I disgust you, baby, keep it to yourself, 'cause right now, baby, my heart's breaking so bad, all I can see is hell. So not too many new or interesting lines here, just maybe the if I disgust you, keep it to yourself line. Why would he disgust her? Good question. I don't know if the song answers that question, why he would think that maybe she believes that he's disgusting to her at this point at the end of their relationship. You can believe whatever you want in there. You can place anything you want. Maybe they're just, again, their relationship was already on the outs before she cheated, and maybe that was one of the reasons why she cheated. He doesn't want to fight, I think just, again, keep it to yourself, meaning like go quietly. As I've mentioned before, he's just over the whole thing. His heart is breaking, so it's not like he's cold and unemotional about this relationship or about this breakup. He clearly has or had feelings for her enough that he has experiencing the symptoms of a broken heart with her leaving and with her cheating. But again, I'll just say it again. The damage is done. He's ready to move on. And then the chorus is sung again, and then towards the end, so I won't repeat those lines. And then towards the end of the song, he kind of ends the song on a spoken word note, just like he began the song. And he says, go on, girl. Get out of here and leave me alone with this broken heart. Wounded pride, I'd be better off when you're outside. Go. So, yep, his pride is wounded. He doesn't, if he was cheated on, that's a pride wounder, if anything. You wonder what was wrong with him. Or one has to wonder what he did wrong, or why would she feel disgust toward him? Why would she be so, in his mind, cold and unemotional enough to give her love to someone else? And then she's ready to go. He starts the song, if you're going to go, meaning like, sounds like you're already planning on this. I caught you cheating. Maybe he sees her packing her stuff. If she was like, had some things at his place, because I don't think she lives there, because she's going home. So, where are you going? Home? So apparently they don't live together. This isn't her permanent residence with Prince, or with the character Prince is singing from. So I think again, it's just he's just saying, I'd be better off when you're outside. I'd be better off with you gone. I'll be able to get through this. I'll be able to get past it. And I can't if we keep rehashing the bad times, rehashing the reasons why the relationship failed, and maybe just her being gone will make it easier for him to move on. So what does the Prince in the Parade, Sign of the Times Era Studio Sessions book say about Go? So under the entry from Friday, September 6th, 1985, Prince was days away from the start of filming Under the Cherry Moon and under a great deal of pressure, which would occasionally surface as a fight to blow off steam with someone close to him. Susanna often took the brunt of the arguments simply because she was staying with him, and on this occasion it was unclear how they'd recover. That tussle that they were going through was really ridiculous, really, really tough, remembers Susan Rogers, It was terrible to see Susanna going through it, and I knew Prince was hurting too. Like many artists, pain is the first ingredient for their art, and Prince's frustration inspired him to seclude himself for a few hours to record Go, a composition written from the viewpoint of a man whose heart was broken by his lover's infidelity, but the depressing topic was wrapped in an infectious pop song. Prince once again used his music as his diary, giving a glimpse into his heart and struggles. Even Susanna, who made up with Prince afterward, recognized the power of the song. Love it. It's one of his great melodies and a beautiful song. Prince was out of the country because he sent us a cassette, and we drove from LA to Minneapolis listening to that cassette over and over, remembers Lisa. My sister came with us, and she had a newborn baby, and that was in the fall because her baby was only like 2 months old. The baby loved that song. Every time we put the song on, she would stop crying. What many of his compositions, including this one, reveal was that when Prince's relationship suffered, he generally felt that it wasn't because of his own actions. He blamed the damage almost exclusively on his partner and would disagree wholeheartedly to express that he was not at fault no matter what the cause. He was revealing his vulnerability, and despite all of his romantic songs, his instinct for control wouldn't allow him to be exposed and weak for too long, according to Susanna. He's the contrarian of all contrarians, and it has to do with his prowess, his musical prowess, his ego, his creative part, and if you're also emotionally attached to it, he's even more vulnerable. Don't expect me to be anything like you or anyone else. I'm always different and always will be. You cannot count on me to be anything other than the contrary, so you just can't figure me out. It was unbelievably frustrating. There was so much of it that I would be like, can you just fucking stop it? He was always the guy who would do it first and then disappear, and then you couldn't get your hands on him. He'd be slippery. He'd be gone out of your sight. You couldn't go like, you fucker, how could you do that? He'd be gone. He was that way with everybody, continues Susanna. He'd be thinking, no one's going to get me, I'll get you first. He used to say that he kicked you in the ass when your back was turned, laughing. It was a trait that would eventually damage and even destroy many of his professional and personal relationships and change the course of his career more than once. So yeah, in this song, or in this entry, they talk about how Prince was very commonly using his songs to put forth blame on his partners for the ending. But I still think the line, "We've blown the art of romance," is a bit revealing in that he does also identify as someone who is to blame. For the January 14th, 1986 entry, this is what Lisa has to say about Go. There's some quintessential thing about Go. The tempo, for one thing, is so confident and it's so badass, but if you listen to it and just think of how confident that tempo is, it was a great collaboration, and we did all these really cool vocals together. It was a time when Prince and Wendy and myself were really prolific, and there was an ease about the song. So this is when the book estimates that there were overdubs and possibly Wendy and Lisa vocal overdubs for Go occurring at Sunset Sound Studios. After a 2-hour break at 4 p.m., Wendy and Lisa added their vocals and a few overdubs to Go, a track from September. It is possible that Wendy and Lisa also did some work on the long version of Kiss at this time. So, interesting connection to a key song in Prince's career. But yeah, that is what I have to say about the song Go. It is not a song that is, I don't think, widely known as some of his other more popular unreleased songs. It has never found its way on any sort of posthumous release collection. I guess it would be eligible if there was ever to be a Parade Super Deluxe with additional tracks from this era. But since that doesn't exist, and who knows if it ever will, I think we'll just have to leave Go back in the vault. This has been the Press Rewind Prince Lyrics Podcast. I've been your host, Jason Brenninger. You can find the show at pressrewind.net on various social media apps if you so choose to follow me there to be informed of new episodes. And until next time, thank you very much, and goodbye.